Hi, my dear engineering aspirants, those who are studying in mechanical engineering. Welcome to a thermodynamics video. It is launched by Dr. T. Suja, Assistant Professor, Tandey Periyar Government Institute of Technology. And this is my second video for second unit, that is second law of thermodynamics, and totally this is my 55th video, and thanks for all of your cooperation and watching my videos. And here I am going to talk about cyclic heat engine. Okay, what is heat engine? Is a device which works in a cycle and converts energy in the form of heat and converting into work. Okay, so engine word meant for not only that is used in automobiles, but also a wide application is being given by engines, which takes the heat energy by burning the fossil fuels or any other alternate fuels and converting that heat energy into motion or mechanical energy. Okay. So several types of heat engines are available, which has the characteristics of receives heat from higher temperature source and converting part of this heat into work, rejecting the remaining waste heat into the lower temperature, operating in a cycle. So these characteristics will be explained clearly by this small picture now. Okay. Here you already in the last video I explained about the importance of and the working of source. Okay, so here you have a high temperature source which has large amount of heat capacity by burning continuously any one of the that is fuel, okay, which can give the heat energy, which is at the temperature of TH, that is hot, H meant for hot. Okay, and it is given to the engine. Okay, so what engine does means it because that heat energy is converted into work output by the engine, and the remaining heat or the waste heat is comes out as heat out, and it is reaching a place called lower temperature sink, that is a sink which is having the temperature which is lower than the source. Okay, where it is liberated. So after the conversion of effective conversion of heat into work, the remaining heat is rejected into lower temperature sink. Okay, so here the heat energy produced by the source is QH, and the heat energy coming out from the engine as QL, that is lower heat, which is at the temperature of TL. Okay, and the difference between this QH and QL only was converted into work output from the system. Here the heat in is taken as positive, and the engine from the engine whatever the heat which is lost is taken as a negative QL. QH is taken as positive, and when we are extracting work from any of the system, not only engine but with any device, when you are extracting the work, then it is taken as positive, and thus here plus W is extracted from this device. The total setup is called heat engine. Okay, so here I have shown a simple application of this heat engine. That is nothing but here is the source where the water which is heated, and it is being by using the evaporator it is converted into steam. That steam is expanded in the turbine, and then from the condenser, that steam is converted again into water, and again that water is pumped. This is a pump where we are giving the work to the pump for pumping the water from condenser to evaporator, and thus here W is taken as negative, here W is taken as positive, here Q is taken as positive, and in the condenser Q is taken as negative. Okay. So here you can see higher temperature, lower temperature. The difference between this would be about work output. Okay. So efficiency of heat engines can be calculated by the formula of ratio of work done by heat absorbed. What is the input, output by input? What is the output? Is difference between QH and Q lower. In the denominator you have input is heat supplied. So heat supplied minus heat rejection by heat supplied is the work, the efficiency equation for heat engines. And when you are having efficiency of 100%, then if it is possible only when the lower heat rejected to the sink should be 0. If it is Q is 0 means then you will get the efficiency of 100%. A perfect heat engine would convert of all the absorbed heat QH into work. But as per the second law of thermodynamics, which we are going to discuss later, this is impossible. Only a fraction of the heat can be or could be converted into mechanical work. And for example, if you take the efficiency of the automobile engines will be around only 20%, and 80% of the heat generated by the burning of the fossil fuel is wasted by so many factors. Okay, so and is it possible to save the rejected heat QC in a power cycle? No, that is also not possible. Avoiding QC is also not possible, and effective utilization of this QC also is not possible, because without cooling in the condenser the cycle cannot be completed. Every heat engine must have the wastage heat. If there is heat addition, heat rejection must be there. If there is compression, expansion must be there. If there is pumping, expansion must be there. Okay, if there is a in, there should be out. Even when you are taking the food, if our excretion system is not working, okay, both liquid and solid excretion is very important. Like how we are taking the input. If there is input, output should be there. If there is an entry, there should be an exit. So without exit, only entry of heat into the system will collapse that particular system. Okay, so it is not possible to avoid the lower heat rejection to the sink. Okay, so here I have shown the energy reservoirs. Like here thermal energy reservoir at higher temperature is considered as source, which is giving the heat, large amount of heat of Q1, and it is entering into the boiler. Boiler is converting the water to steam, and steam is expanded in the turbine, and which is given as work output, and you can consider it as a mechanical energy reservoir. And again condenser is making the steam to water, and that water is pumped to the boiler again, where for this pump we are supplying the work energy. Okay, so here WP is taking the sign of negative, and WT is positive, Q1 is positive, Q2 is negative, and the heat which is rejecting by the condenser is directly reaching the thermal energy reservoir at the lower temperature, which is called a sink. Okay, qualitative difference between the heat and the work. Okay, already this was explained even though in the first unit. Let me recall again. Here W1 to 2 is being taken by the system, so it is considered as the negative. If the W1 to 2, that is between 1 to 1, this is a cyclic process. Into the system, if you give work, means equal amount of heat would be rejected from the system. W1 to 2 is taken as a work input into the system, means equal amount of W, the heat would be generated and it would be liberated. Okay, so when you are switching on the fan, okay, you are supplying the electrical energy, you are spending your own power supply, power energy, means then the same amount of heat will be generated in the fan or tube light and it would be released. Okay, but whereas in the case of case of B, when you are supplying the heat of 1 to 2 into the system, and when it is trying to converting into work, the work done by the system W2 to 1 is not, or could not be equal to Q1 to 2. Always W, or the work extracted by the input of heat, would be lesser than the heat rejected, because heat is a lower grade energy and work is a higher grade energy. Heat cannot be held by any of the system, it cannot be stored, always it is moving towards the lower temperature, so it is not possible to convert the heat fully into work. Cyclic heat engine, again this heat engine is also showing the cycle which I have explained in the last slide, that there is a piston cylinder arrangement in which Q is given as a input, so that you are getting the expansion of the piston because of the heat intake, and then when you are doing the compression, after the compression, compression, here you are taking the heat release of Q2, and this is applicable for the second application is about the cycle which we are executing in a power plant. Okay. So there is a small problem for which I will tell the way forward. Here they have given that is this is the what to tell, the derivation for cyclic heat engine shows that the net heat transfer is equal to Q1 minus Q2, W net equal to WT minus WP, and you can get from the first law, cyclic integral of del Q is equal to cyclic integral of del W, so that W net equal to Q net, so that Q1 minus Q2 is equal to WT minus WP. Okay, this is a cycle heat engine with the energy interaction represented in a block diagram. Here you can see boiler is converting liquid to gas of same working substance of water, and again turbine, gas to gas expansion takes place, and here in the condenser H2O is in from the gaseous form to liquid form is again conversion takes place, and this water is again pumped into the boiler by taking the input of work energy in the pump. Okay, efficiency of heat engines or net work output by total heat input. So W net by Q1, W net here you can write either WT minus WP or Q1 minus Q2 by input is Q1, so that the final equation could be Q1 minus Q2 by Q1. If there is no Q2, there is no heat rejection, means the efficiency would be 100%, and it is not possible to have the 100% efficiency for any engines, and this is known as thermal efficiency of a heat engine. A heat engine is very often called upon and extract as much as work as possible from a certain heat input, that is to maximize the cycle efficiency. If you want to increase the cycle efficiency, okay, so what could we do, means upon extraction as much as work as possible from a certain heat input. Okay, so we have to effectively utilize the heat which is taken by the system. That is the only way to maximize the cycle efficiency, and regarding in the first two videos of second unit, I explained you about the heat energy and the work energy, and one clear vision from this videos is all the heat could not be converted into work, but all the work can be equally converted into heat. Okay, so thanks for patient listening. Let me continue in the next video. Watch the video. Thank you. This is Dr. Suja signing off.